Welcome back to Euro USD review. I'm so sorry, guys. It's been a little busy with things, but here today I'm going to go over what we've seen since last Wednesday around 8 o'clock. I'll try to be quick as possible with this. Getting a lot of comments and feedback in terms of seeing a lot of levels and what's all these lines. I'm going to go over this again right here, and I will make a video soon that can kind of give people an understanding of what they're looking at, since that's the big question. Real quick, blue lines and white lines are all that matter. You really don't need to worry about orange lines. The blue lines are macro levels where I look back at price action for years from Euro USD and find places of inflection, places where we sold from, places where we tested those areas after the selling, places where we took off from for longs and things, etc. If you look at my levels, the blue levels, and then go back on your charts, you'll find the same things I did. So don't overthink it. White levels also come from the past, but those will get adjusted more often with more current price action. Think this past week, this past month, or even today. Orange levels are just for profit taking as well as confluence, and you have a level get tagged before going back up or down. It just tells you that price action is behaving and that whatever setup you're looking for is probably present. So right here is where I stopped. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so let's get right back into it. Wednesday morning, we pretty much just took off. There was no setup available besides this overnight fail breakdown. See how price settled low, tagged exactly off this level, bounced from 13.14 up to about 13.33, so about 20 points. Came back and undercut it around 445, and then took off for a nice long. Even gave you a second entry here. We do fail breakdowns here, so essentially we want to see price at a low of at least about 7-8 points ideally, if not more. 10 plus is what I'm looking for. And then we want to see price go up, come back down below the previous low, and then go above that previous low by at least 2 points, 3 points, depending on the volatility, and that's your setup. So here you can see this low was set around 13.14, so we want to go long around 13.17, and usually major lines will coincide with your triggers. You get that here, so one could have gone long at 445. That would have worked out from 13.17 up to 13.29 for 12 points off the bat, and then you could have reloaded or entered for a first time here on the back test around 5:30. I usually wake up around 5 or 6 a.m., sometimes even earlier, and that worked out awesome. That trade went from 13.18 all the way up to 13.61. Meanwhile, I'm only taking the profits around here typically, because I want to take the first 10, 12 points and then keep a runner for the rest. If it goes, it goes. If not, it'll trail out below the lowest low. Later on that afternoon, we got another bounce. Excuse me. Later on that morning at 8:30, we got a third entry where price bounced off exactly at the level at 8:30. One can wait for a few minutes to see if it holds and then go long. Stop loss will be below this low. Rest of Wednesday was a wash. Kind of just chopped around all day. Wednesday night at 4 o'clock, we got one more bounce here that could have been taken, but I would not have really taken that. I would have already been holding a position since we never lost our low. And then we got another fail breakdown at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. See how this low right here was lost by a little bit. Since it was a shallow loss, it went right back up. One could have longed above this level. That worked great level to level up here. We got another back test of that at 9 p.m. for whoever missed it. And then we move on. Finally, the trade from here, or any of these trades besides this one, got stopped out around 3 a.m. overnight. It didn't really set up much until it kind of had this failed breakdown again of these lows from the other day. So Thursday morning, there was a failed breakdown, right entry around 3:45. I'd be sleeping. This is the London time, so that doesn't really do much for me, unfortunately. Moving forward, around the time I woke up, we were consolidating above this level. Clearly, you can see we're just hitting it multiple times. I had this low to work with. So once I saw that we pushed off of it around 7 a.m., I decided to take a long, seeing that price was holding this support, and that worked out great level to level. afterwards, which there was a failed breakdown opportunity once my entry stopped out. I did not take this, but one could have gone long around 29.40, and that went up to 13.09. So you're looking at excuse me, 20 12.92. So you're looking at 12.92 up to 13.09. So that's a nice 17-point long if you did a failed breakdown of these lows. Afterwards, which we came back down, we tagged this level direct. This would be my second setup, a back test. There was no real low to work with here. So if you wanted to go long, you just would notice that price tagged it directly. That's Confluence. You wait a little bit for price to hold above. It did for 15 minutes. You can long, and that went level to level for a nice 14-point pop. Later on, we got the setup that we love, which is a failed breakdown I mentioned earlier. Notice we set a low. That went from 12.67 up to 12.87, 20-point low. That's a great low. We lost it around 115. We overtook it around 145. A couple points above this would be exactly this major line about. Even a little lower would have been fine. And as you can see, that failed breakdown worked out awesome for almost 1272, for almost 100 points. And I did take that long. Do want to mention one thing. Whenever we're near a macro level, price action, they know, the institutions know that you are waiting for here to go long or short. So in this case, they went close to it, but they never quite touched it because they know the people are going to be waiting for it. So instead, they did a couple dips here, caught some people trying to go short, and then they went back up and got their profits. That's just how price action works. Moving up here, at the time, for myself, I had a reclaim of this level that I took. One can see we hit this level from below once, twice, a couple times here. So now I'm waiting for one little pullback if I can, which we got, and then I'm waiting for a push through, which we got. So I went long at 8.15. I was able to catch this failed breakdown, sold most of my position here. I added on the reclaim here. That worked out awesome. Overnight, we consolidated below this level for a while. One could have gone long, probably around here or even around here. Stop loss would have been up to your discretion. I would probably keep it maybe around this low or a little bit below these lows. None of them hit, and that continued to work out great. We consolidated below this level for a while before taking off as well. That would have been a good trade as well. Eventually, which we sold back down. We have a cluster of lows here, so not the best setup, but probably would call this a dip in recovery, how we dipped below the level, and then we did a second dip. This is early in the morning, very choppy, very trappy before the holiday weekend, so I'm just waiting for ideally a clear failed breakdown, and that's what we got on a smaller scale, but I did not take that. I just continue to hold my runner position. It's very choppy here. Once we came back down off this pop, I noticed a little mini failed breakdown, and I went for that. I noticed we had a little low here at 9 o'clock. We popped, came back down to trap shorts a little bit, and then we took off. That was level to level. We continued up Friday afternoon, just slowly going up, probably fueled by people trying to short and get this thing under. You can see we opened Sunday, we tagged the blue level, consolidated for a while, popped above it 8 o'clock once. One could have gone long here with a stop loss maybe around this cluster of lows. That worked out awesome. I'm going to talk about this yellow line in a few minutes. It's the bull flag that we're consolidating within. Afterwards, which we consolidated overnight, Monday bull flagging in a way. If you see this sideways angled selling, that's controlled selling. And then we popped above. Really wasn't much to do here. It's all really choppy, small action. It was a holiday, so I wasn't looking to take any positions unless it was a clear setup. One could have taken a failed breakdown of this low here, maybe even this cluster, but it just was too choppy for me. So I held my position. My little runner I had from the week before, not really trading much here. Finally, Tuesday overnight, there was some selling that was actionable. There was a failed breakdown right here of this low. I was sleeping, so I didn't take that. Came back down to this level, We didn't have much to work with here, so I'm just still holding and chilling. I'm not really doing anything. I'm not seeing any failed breakdowns like we mentioned. Um, and then we've just been continuing to sell. Action has been very slow lately. It's nothing great. Um, Going into Tuesday evening, we sold down a little bit of a pop. One could have taken a failed breakdown at this low. I did not, but it was actionable. Maybe go long at 13.25. That went up to 13.38, 13 points from a potential trigger, which I'm pointing out right here. Got a little bit above here. That worked out good if you wanted to. Continued selling. Here we have two lows to work with. Overnight, we got a little failed breakdown of that. Obviously, I was sleeping, so I did not catch that. And then we tagged this level. This is looking like a big resistance right now. So I'm gonna just change this failed breakdown sign. Excuse me 1 second. I'll change that after. Okay, so right now the updated setup I'm looking for right now is this. I have this low right here, and I have this low right here. They're both pretty good lows. This one went from 12.96 up to 13.42, so like almost 45 points. This one went from 12.97 up to 13.24, so almost 27 points. You see how we're consolidating below this? I would call this level right here, just for now, I'd call this the trigger level, just because you can see it's a couple points above this low and this low. See how we tagged it once here? I'm telling you, if we push through this trigger, we should be having a nice long that will probably go up a decent amount, but we don't worry about that. We just want our points. So I'm looking to get from this entry up to here and sell most of my position. I'm gonna get back to some levels for you guys. Haven't missed much. It's been a little slow. Summer is getting a little slow in the market. I really miss the Trump days where we were having 50, 100 points pops every day. But it is what it is. We'll get back to that eventually. Right now, you trade what you have in front of you. It's a little more controlled. So you have to find your spots and take them and not think too much. Like I said, the first things I'm looking for is a push to this trigger. So for a failed breakdown of this low and this low, that's the most bullish setup I see right now. Otherwise, if we sell, we could get a back test of this major zone, which we might not get a dip below this low. So it could be like a dip in recovery. I'll show you what that means. Maybe we get up here and then we come back down. Maybe we bounce here a little bit, whatever price wants to do. Maybe it'll go right here. It won't go below this low, so we won't get a failed breakdown. And then maybe it could go like this and pop. So essentially this is all just regular price action, not just showing you it can go any direction. That doesn't matter to me. Maybe you could even back test this level from below before selling down. We'll get a little bit priced below this. Maybe it could be exact, and then this could be one more test here, and then on the pop you can go long, or on the initial pop you can go long, as long as it holds for a few minutes. So that's the second thing I'm seeing after the first thing, which is the trigger for the failed breakdown. Maybe a dip in recovery of this zone. Now what will be ideal is, my market does this a lot, where it won't get all the way down to this level, but it'll get close. It will go below this level, and then we probably go long right around this minor level. Again, minor levels are just for Confluence to help us figure out where the entry can be sometimes. And then you go long from here, and you know the rest is let the markets do its job. So let me get back to levels. Actually, one more thing I wanted to show you. So now let's look at what price is doing. Now this is a lot to look at here, but try to bear with me. Try to keep it simple as possible. I just want you to notice one thing here. I want you to look at this big bull flag. Everything that has happened in price action from mid-April until end of May is confined within this bull flag. So if we break above, that can see price go higher. If we break below this major level right here, we should be testing this, if not testing these lows as well. This is where all the price action is within. You can see we pushed off of it here, sold off. It held here March 12th. We hit it, the central, once on May 14th, consolidated before breaking back out. consolidated around there before popping up. Almost tagged that macro level. We're getting close to it again. We might not get back down there. Let's see what happens. I'll be back with some levels for you guys.